Threads of Destiny, Kaida's journey through chaos. The return journey from the ruins of Serath was far less triumphant than Kaida had expected. The Veil of Concord pulsed faintly in her grasp, a constant reminder of the burden she now carried. Her companions, battered but alive, moved in silence through the dense forest. The ever-present mist curled around their feet like a living thing, and the distant cries of unseen creatures filled the air. Kaida broke the silence first, her voice tinged with sarcasm. "So, do we just slap this thing into the orb and hope for the best, or does it come with an instruction manual?" Soren, walking beside her, adjusted his robes and frowned. "The veil doesn't merge with the orb, Kaida. It stabilizes it. You should feel the effects almost immediately." Kaida snorted. "Oh great, now I can destroy everything around me with slightly less collateral damage. What a relief." Darien, striding ahead with his sword resting on his shoulder, glanced back with a grin. "I don't know, Princess. I kind of like the collateral damage. Gives you character." "Stop calling me that," Kaida snapped. "And if you like collateral damage so much, how about I aim the next blast at you?" "Promises, promises," Darien shot back, his grin widening. Leora, ever the voice of reason, or cynicism, cut in. "Focus. We're not out of danger yet. The Lightbringers won't let the loss of the Veil go unanswered." Kaida glanced at her, activating Truth Gaze out of habit. Leora's words rang true, laced with genuine concern, though her tone was as cold as ever. Yeah, Kaida muttered. "Keep your sword handy, Sunshine." As they neared the fortress, the forest grew unnervingly quiet. The usual rustling of leaves and distant bird calls had vanished, replaced by an oppressive stillness. Kaida felt the hairs on the back of her neck stand on end. "We're being watched," she said, her voice low. Darien's grip on his sword tightened, his crimson eyes scanning the shadows. Took them long enough. The attack came swiftly. A group of Lightbringers, their golden armor glinting even in the dim light, burst from the tree line. Their leader, a lean woman with striking silver hair, pointed her sword at Kaida. "Hand over the veil," she commanded, her voice calm but firm. "Surrender now and I might let you live." Kaida stepped forward, tucking the veil under one arm. "Lady, I've been threatened so many times this week I've lost count. You're going to have to try harder than that." The woman's expression didn't falter. "So be it." The forest exploded into chaos. Lightbringers and Voidborn soldiers clashed in a violent cacophony of metal and magic. Kaida ducked as a bolt of golden energy flew past her, slamming into a tree that splintered into fiery shards. Her battle foresight activated, showing her the next 4 seconds with perfect clarity. She saw a soldier lunging at her from the left, his sword aimed at her side. In real time, she sidestepped the attack, summoning a tendril of dark energy from the orb. New skill unlocked, Shadow Snare, a precise tendril attack that disarms and immobilizes enemies. Kaida grinned. "All right, that's cool." Darien fought like a whirlwind, his sword a blur of lethal precision. He blocked a strike aimed at Kaida, flashing her a cocky grin as he drove his opponent back. "You owe me one, Princess." "Stop calling me that," Kaida shouted, ducking under another attack. Leora moved like a shadow, her twin daggers flashing as she took down 2 enemies in quick succession. "Less banter, more fighting," she snapped, her icy demeanor never faltering. Soren, standing at the center of the fray, unleashed a barrage of spells that sent enemies flying. "Kaida, focus on the leader. The others can't hold without her command." Kaida locked eyes with the silver-haired woman, who was cutting through Voidborn soldiers with ruthless efficiency. Activating Shadow Step, Kaida teleported behind her, swinging her staff with all her strength. The woman blocked the attack, their weapons locking in a shower of sparks. "You're out of your depth, girl," she hissed. Kaida smirked. "And you're out of time." She activated Eclipse Slash, a wave of dark energy erupting from her staff and forcing the woman to retreat. But the Lightbringer wasn't done yet. She raised her sword, summoning a beam of blinding light that shot toward Kaida. Kaida's battle foresight kicked in, showing her a split-second opening. She dodged the beam, summoning a wall of dark energy to block the next attack. The strain was immense, but she held firm, sweat dripping down her face. "Not bad," the woman admitted, her expression betraying a flicker of respect. "But you can't win." "Funny," Kaida said, charging forward. "I was about to say the same thing." Their weapons clashed again, the force of the impact shaking the ground beneath them. The fight was brutal, each strike testing Kaida's limits. But with every swing of her staff, every pulse of the orb's energy, she felt herself growing stronger. Finally, with a well-timed shadow snare, Kaida disarmed the woman, her sword clattering to the ground. Kaida pointed her staff at the Lightbringer's chest, breathing heavily. "Leave," she said, her voice low and dangerous, "and tell your bosses the Voidborn aren't going anywhere." The woman hesitated, her silver eyes narrowing. Then she raised her hands in surrender, signaling her remaining soldiers to retreat. "This isn't over, champion," she said as she backed away. "You've only delayed the inevitable." Kaida watched them go, her hands trembling from the effort of holding her magic in check. When the last of the Lightbringers vanished into the forest, she finally lowered her staff. Darien walked over, his expression half amused, half impressed. "Not bad, princess. You actually looked like a real champion for a second there." Kaida rolled her eyes. "Thanks, Horns. Your approval means everything to me." Leora approached, cleaning her daggers with a practiced efficiency. "You were reckless," she said bluntly, "but effective. Don't let it go to your head." Soren, looking pale but determined, placed a hand on Kaida's shoulder. "You've proven yourself today, Kaida, but this is only the beginning." Kaida sighed, glancing down at the veil. "Great, more pressure, just what I needed." When they finally returned to the fortress, Kaida collapsed onto her bed, too tired to even remove her boots. The veil sat on her bedside table, its faint glow a reminder of the chaos she'd endured. For the first time since arriving in this world, Kaida allowed herself a moment of quiet reflection. She thought of her allies, their quirks, their strengths, their relentless belief in her. They were a mess, but they were her mess. And whether she liked it or not, she was their champion. As sleep claimed her, Kaida made a silent vow. If she was stuck in this world, she was going to rewrite the rules, and maybe, just maybe, survive long enough to find her way home.